Welcome to the Bobby Kudo Show, where we dive into the fascinating world of human experiences and excellence. With special guests, real-life anecdotes, and thought-provoking discussions. Get ready to unlock and tap into your absolute potential with your host, manifestation coach, Bobby Kudo.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 90 of the Bobby Kudo Show. Rob Serpa, Mission 22 in the house today. Thank you so much for being here. Really appreciate you taking the time. David, thank you so much for setting this up and bringing Rob into the studio just to have a conversation. I really want to say thank you to everyone before we start today. The show is, I want to use the term literally on fire. I'm so elated with the not only the contribution, but the involvement of all the fans of the show. Like, David set us up with some interviews more recently with some political figures, people that are running for office. And this is not a political show. So I was very reluctant to do it. I'm like, David, but David, he's like, listen, Bobby, it's still the Bobby Kudo Show. But, do these people actually know who the candidates are? And what a great opportunity to tap into their personalities and their experience in life, right? Which is pretty much bringing me to where we are right now, Rob. Your experience, man, you being here and the dedication that you provide. I always do research on our guests, and sometimes I read things, and what's funny is the people that do the most say the least. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I want to take an opportunity to just shine the light on you. You do a lot, man. You do a lot, and you don't have to. And even like this, even the $100 contributions you make, and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. But, it's things like that people have no idea, brother. And I just want to shine light on that and say thank you so much for being such a patriot. And not only that, but a pillar of the community.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. I appreciate all that. Those are some kind words.
No.
And
I mean it, bro.
I appreciate being here.
So
thank you very much, Dave. Thanks for having me on. Any chance I get to talk about the mission, I'm all about it.
All right, so let's start right off the start. Like, so if you had to explain to someone who's never heard of Mission 22, how would you explain it to them? What is the purpose and what is Mission 22?
Okay, so every day in our country, 22 veterans and/or active service people take their own lives. Most are suffering from PTSD. These folks have been overseas, away from their families. Yeah, it's been bad, and with the just basically the wars going on, and they come back, and the military is such a. So I married an Army vet. I did not serve myself. My wife did, and she's she's a very tough human. So these folks go over and they serve, and obviously we've got the toughest of the toughest.
Sure. What branch?
My wife was in the Army.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, my wife's in the Army. So they go over and they serve, and they've got to be strong. They've got to be mentally strong, emotionally strong, physically strong, right? And then they come home, and it's they got to get back into everyday life, but they still have all these memories. They still have everything that they've witnessed. Friends of theirs that died right beside them. Friends of them that just aren't the same anymore. And unfortunately, it turned to a lot of them turned to suicide. So our goal is to spread awareness, of course. So check in on a veteran. I say that all the time. Anytime I'm anywhere at all, whether it be a podcast, a meeting, or I'm talking to a veteran. I have a lot of veteran clients. I simply remind everyone every day to check on a veteran. We do different events with Mission 22 New Bedford chapter, and our message is always the same. Tell people it's okay not to be okay. So our goal is to, raise awareness, and I think we've brought a lot of light to this tragic wave that's going across the country, if you will. And obviously we raise money as well. So we raise as much money as we can. Mission 22 is a nonprofit based out of the Pacific Northwest in our country, obviously. And they only have 2 full-time employees. So 90 cents for every dollar we raise.
I love that.
Goes towards things
I love
like
that.
horse therapy, animal therapy, one-on-one therapy. Again, a lot of activities go along with what they have to offer. So, again, checking in on anyone is what we should do as humans, right? Just be good people.
Of course.
But again, people get out of the military, they come home, and it's a different world. It's a different world. We don't realize how spoiled we are in this country, how good we have it. And if you think you've got it really good, or really everything's going along just fine, chat with someone who has come back from Afghanistan, Iraq, Vietnam, whatever the case is, and you'll quickly learn just how much better you have it and just how much help these folks need.
Yeah. So Rob, for me, I'm like a problem and solution, right? Like that's kind of the world I like to live in. So when you look at the stats, let's just say for these veterans, is there a commonality as far as why this happens? Is it like you mentioned that people come home and it's almost like a culture shock, but is it a lack of support, right? So if I'm coming home and there's no one there waiting for me, there's no one to hear the words that I speak, does it make it more difficult for these people to find help because really there's nobody around, right? So my question is it possible to have programs in place that would support these veterans when they come back? Almost like, excuse the term, but almost like a detox.
So, yes, I mean, I'm sure it is. I couldn't tell you the ins and outs of government workings
right.
with the military.
Obviously, there's a lack thereof.
Yeah,
clearly.
It certainly appears that way.
Sure,
right?
sure.
It certainly appears that way. I do know that things have been changing with when people come back from deployments and such. I don't know. I guess we'll call it debriefing.
Right? Sure.
Isn't that the term
There you go.
on TV
Perfect.
all the
Yeah,
time?
debrief. Yes,
But again, when so I imagine it as because I speak with people who our former chapter president, which is how I got.
And you're an ambassador, right? You are for the New Bedford chapter.
Yeah, for the New Bedford chapter, I'm a Mission 22 ambassador, and I actually sit on the board. We have, we're not that formal. It's basically a group of really dedicated individuals, some veterans, some not.
Okay.
And we brainstorm how to raise more money, and we brainstorm our events, how to make it fun, and how to get the message out there. So I do believe, from what I understand, again, haven't done a whole lot of homework on it, that coming back from deployment, these soldiers have a little bit more support. But I envision it as, and Jared Lucas, again, give him a big shout out here. He's the one who got me involved, and he got the entire area abuzz with Mission 22.
I've heard that name before. Yes,
so he's now with he does a lot of jujitsu. That's his own therapy. So you being a boxing champ there, or a supporter,
a very big supporter.
Yeah, very big supporter.
Yeah, not yet, but I'm gonna.
So you understand the meditation that it takes,
100%.
the mental strength that it takes, and that's his outlet.
Yeah,
Everyone needs and no matter what you do, anyone needs an outlet. Yeah. That's his. And
he's a veteran.
He's a veteran.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a veteran. He served in Afghanistan. He was boots on the ground, and the guy's seen some stuff. The guy has seen some stuff, and he doesn't talk a lot about it, but he's pretty open with the fact that he was never really encouraged to talk about his feelings when he got back. It's like, you've got this brotherhood or sisterhood or, however you want to put it, the camaraderie that exists when you go overseas. So I grew up playing ice hockey, and there are guys that I haven't seen in 30 years, but if I see them tomorrow, it'll be like we never stopped talking because that's the bond that you forge in those locker rooms and on the ice.
100%.
I'm not by any means saying we're soldiers. Please don't mistake that.
No. But the brotherhood and the sisterhood,
yes. You think about the camaraderie.
Yes.
They come back, and Jared lives in New Bedford. He could have had buddies that lived in North Carolina, Washington State, Oregon. So they're all over the place. They're scattered. So your support system is just kind of splintered. So you've got to form new support systems. And, I'd like to think, luckily for him, we're all there for him. And, a lot, we hang out a lot, and he's got a very good group of friends.
But clearly there's a lot of success here, man. There's a lot of success.
There's a decent amount of success. But now what about those that don't? What about those? What about the introverts that go overseas?
How do you get them? How do you get to them? How do you reach them?
They suffer from PTSD. They come back and they don't have that support structure. You know what I mean? So that's our job. That's where we come in with the social media, with the events, being on shows like this. Again, thank you so much.
Oh, my pleasure, man. You're kidding me? It's my honor to actually have you guys here. It's a great honor.
So the biggest thing is talking about it. The biggest thing is talking about it. Checking on these vets and talking about it. So, you mentioned my whole $100 thing. So, when I have veteran clients.
Well, let's tell everybody what you do. You're in mortgage, right? Right. So let's shout out, right? So Milestone Mortgage, and you actually cater a lot of your work to veterans, right? So if just to all the veterans listening, if they needed a loan, a mortgage, you would be a mortgage. I should say they could come see you.
Absolutely.
All right. And if they wanted to do that, how would they do that?
So they can call me. My number is 508-264-1536. I answer every call that I can, and if not, I get back to everyone via that I listen to on my voicemail. Shoot me a text, whatever the case is. Even if you're not ready to buy now, I'd like to think I take care of all my clients. Of course, anyone's going to say that. But when I have a veteran client, I do understand the communication that needs to go into that. How to communicate with.
And I'm sure there's some ins and outs there. Yeah, for sure.
There's a lot of things that veterans don't know. I do find that a lot of times people leave the military, and again, I'm not dissing the military at all, right? The government, that's not what I'm all about. But like, take my wife, for instance. She didn't know that she could go shopping and ask for a veteran discount. Now, not a lot of veterans will, right? But she had no idea. She literally had no clue.
Yeah.
There are all sorts of benefits that are available to a veteran. For instance, they can buy a house with no money down. So no down
That's
payment.
huge.
Yeah.
That's huge.
They've got to cover closing costs, but a lot of the real estate agents that I partner with, we find ways to get most of their closing costs covered.
I love to hear that, man.
So, we try to get these veterans. They picked up arms and defended our country, our freedoms. The ability for you and I to sit here and chat is thanks to them. Right?
Sure.
Let's be real. That's what it all
Of
comes
course,
down to.
100%.
So I'll talk to a veteran even if they have another loan officer. It's fine by me. I'd
Sure.
rather help myself, of course. But if they've got a loan officer and they're working with someone and they've got questions, I will stop everything I'm doing to sit there and try to educate them. So this year I decided that for every loan I closed, whether it's a VA loan or not, last year I closed 55 loans. Hopefully this year I close closer to 70. Every loan I close, I donate $100, and that's all going towards my chapter. And I now have, the cool thing about it is I now have business partners. I've got an attorney, shout out Pat Walsh at Whaling City Title and Closing. Every time I send him a deal to close, he gives me $100.
I love that.
Melissa Gagney, Remax Vantage, Michelle Saltmarsh, Lamakia Realty out of Fall River, Anna Faria, Remax Vantage, and Ethan Carrero out of La Pointe Insurance. So these folks, whenever we collaborate together, they match my donation.
Oh, I love that.
I never asked them to.
Right.
That's a great thing about just, again, being a good human and having other good humans come out of the woodwork to help you is huge. So instead of raising, say, $7,000, I'm now hoping to raise 10 to 12.
Oh man, that's great. It's amazing.
So it's a really good feeling. I get a little bit of
me too, man. Me too. Absolutely,
So,
absolutely.
I didn't want to talk too much about being a mortgage broker, but again, working with Milestone Mortgage, I'm a team lead. I've got some great people there, and they actually helped me. So to tie it in, they helped me last year. Being a runner, so I'm a runner. We talked a little bit about that before. Dave mentioned it. Yeah. So I wanted to have a 5K on Veterans Day. So, on or right before Veterans Day. So they helped me get that off the ground. They gave me the money. They helped me fund it last year.
That's amazing.
And they helped me fund it again this year. So, next year I'll probably be on my own, but maybe not. I mean, Vern, if you're listening, maybe not. Craig, but
well, you're going to have to, the Bobby Kudo show. So, we're going to be, Studio B will be a part of that. Absolutely, 100%. We'll talk.
Thank you so much.
We'll talk after. Yes,
you.
definitely.
That. So, we've gotten a lot of sponsors off the ground, and, one of the things that I mentioned during our 5K, by the way, shout out Buzzards Bay Brewing, because that's where we have a lot of our events.
Sweet.
When everyone's lined up, ready to go, being the race director, I got up there and I just told everyone, I said, I need you guys to understand that you need to run harder for one reason. While you're out there running these 20 minutes, 30 minutes, because some people ruck, some people will hike. Rucking is when, you wear the weighted backpacks like a military person would. And you should have seen the looks on their faces when I said, while you're out there running, someone's going to take their own lives. So that's why we're doing this. Like, yes, you're going to get some cool finisher medals. There's a prize for the number one
but
finish.
don't lose sight of the
lose sight of the fact when you sit there and you're getting tired and you're like, damn, this sucks. I don't want to run anymore. I got to go from the road to the trails back on the road. I don't want to do this. There's a little hill involved. Just dig down deep and know that you're helping stop the person that is about to commit suicide.
That's amazing.
So that's what we do when we have our golf event. We'll actually tell people there are going to be 3 people that take their lives while you're out there golfing, having a good time, having a couple of drinks, etc. So it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, it's perspective, man. That's perspective.
It hits home, and
that's not just an individual; it's an individual and a family. There's a family behind that person. It's
100%. It's not the person leaving. It's I mean, yes, of course, it's the
100%.
Leaving
Yes,
because they're suffering. But if you've got kids, if you've got a wife, you got a mom, a dad, whatever, you got a Dave, you got a Bobby. It doesn't really matter. You're leaving someone behind,
100%.
and now those people suffer.
Yes.
So we actually have people in our group who had a spouse or a son that took their own lives, and they now join and they volunteer with us. I think of a guy like Jeff Mello served. He's a firefighter here in Fall River, actually, if I'm not mistaken. And his son, he doesn't mind me talking about this. His son Camden came back from service and again suffering from PTSD and took his own life. So everything Jeff does, I mean, this guy pours his heart.
But you say it, and I can't even the words don't even compute, man. It's so hard to even to fathom that could even happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
my goal here today would be anybody listening to the show, grab your phone. There's a veteran contact in your phone, or an active duty person.
Yep.
Just shoot them a text.
Yep.
Ask them how it's going.
Yep.
And by the way, if anyone says, I'm not a therapist by any means, but if anyone says, are they getting indication that someone is suffering or someone is alone or feeling alone or whatever, man, we love more and more volunteers.
100%.
We love more and more volunteers. Have them reach out to me again. Same thing. 508-264-1536. I'll get you involved with us. Some of my veteran clients are now going to be involved with us. We got a cornhole tournament coming up. A little shout out here, September 21st. It's a Sunday. Buzzard Bay Brewing, $100 gets you a team of 2. You each get a T-shirt sponsored by LaPointe Insurance. You each get a free beer, and there's a cash prize to the winners, $500.
That's amazing.
So,
that's awesome.
Yep.
That's awesome. Yeah, we'll get in on that too,
so
man.
Maybe we'll see you
I'm
guys
pretty
there.
good with the cornhole. I don't know about David. I think Dave needs glasses.
Dave's a backyard
If
warrior.
you get glasses, maybe we'll do it.
I bet Dave's a backyard warrior. 100%.
Yeah, for sure. 100%.
This guy just screams cookout champion.
Yeah,
I bet.
double fisted for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Hands down.
Yeah, 100%.
Hands down.
You guys show up, I'll buy you each a beer.
I love that.
Yeah,
I love
I'll buy
that.
you each a beer.
And I'll buy you a beer. How about that?
Sure.
There we go. That's how we win. So real quick, I just want to touch this real because I know it's important. I just want to offer this to the veterans. So what's the advantage of coming to see you as opposed to just going to a bank and going for a mortgage? Like, why would I come see you?
Oh, all right, fantastic. So being a broker, I have 32 lenders at my disposal. If you go to a bank, they have one product.
Yep.
By the way, they only work 9 to 5. When I leave here, I have 3 or 4 more phone calls to make, and it's already 6 o'clock. So I'm on. If I'm awake, I'm pretty much on. Just ask my wife; she'll be more than happy to tell you how
Rob,
much I
nobody
work.
would know this unless you're saying it. That's just
True.
Again, I've purchased homes. Like I have a couple of homes, and I didn't work with a broker. I worked with banks, and it was just a terrible, miserable experience. And then by the time you're done, you're celebrating. Oh, it's over.
Yeah.
I would have loved to work with somebody like you and really realize the value in the experience of something like that because it's a big deal. It's a big deal to anyone. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, please don't be sorry.
Yeah.
I like the stories.
Yeah.
I hope your banker's not listening to that. But, anyway, so we get to do the shopping for you.
Yeah.
So rather than call me and ask me don't ask me what my rate is because I'm going to give you the best rate once you go into contract.
Gotcha.
Because we've got, again, 32 lenders at our disposal.
Right.
We've got tons of product for Bristol County and Providence County. The advantages are huge. We save, on average, people save about $10,146, something like that, when they use a broker versus using a bank.
Right.
My job is I don't get paid on interest rate or anything like that. My job is to get you to the closing table. I get paid by whatever lender. You never, no matter what time we chat, if we get to chat at 7 in the morning because you go to work, or you're working overnight, and that's when we have to chat, and that's when we have to chat. Yeah. You never stroke Rob Serpa, Milestone Mortgage, a check. Yeah. It's just I pride myself on taking all of the stress away from my buyers.
I love that.
And if you look at my Google reviews, they'll all tell you that it's just a stress-free process, and I keep everything chill, relax. A lot of the folks that we work with, at Milestone are just amazing. Vernon Miles is the founder of the company. He's the owner of the company. He's my personal coach. Absolutely love the guy. He's been instrumental in all my success. Yeah. Same with Craig Snell.
I hear a lot of great things about your place. Like
it's amazing.
I've had some experience with the people there, and I've heard such wonderful things. I really have, and always a positive. And I hear that it's a light energy, right? Like if you're in there, it's a very light energy. You feel very comfortable. Again, my own personal experience, I haven't experienced it, but people that I've spoken to have spoken very highly of it.
Well, it's time for you to buy another house.
Yeah, true that, man. You know what? David keeps giving me the side eye. I think him and I might be working on something, and I might come see you.
Right.
But so real quick, you mentioned your wife.
Yep.
2 children, right?
Yes.
2 girls.
Yep.
No, boy and a girl. Tell me a little bit about that. Like, so you meet your wife. When does that happen?
I'm divorced. I was divorced, I should say, and still very good friends with my ex-wife. And
good for you.
Her husband's one of my best friends.
Good for you.
We've done a great job.
You're a good guy. You're a good guy.
You know what? I try, man.
Yeah,
I try.
I
We're all gonna meet our maker someday. So for all the bad crap that I've done.
Yeah, but just good energy, Bryce. You have an honest face. You're a good guy.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
No problem.
I surround myself with good people too. Again, going back to Milestone. You don't get better people. So
yeah, right.
So I was divorced. I had been divorced for 7-8 years, something like that, and tried, ironically, an ex-girlfriend of mine that I was still kind of friendly with. I asked her how she met her boyfriend because she never leaves New Bedford, and her boyfriend's like from Pawtucket or something like that. She was like, "Oh, I met him on Bumble." I was like, "What the heck is that?" Yeah. So she put me on. She helped me set up my profile on Bumble, and no joke, the next day I met my wife online.
No kidding.
And then we met 4 or 5 days later, and I shut my online dating off. So
how great is that?
Yeah, that's pretty much how that happened.
So you're a success story.
Yeah, I'm a success story for that. So she's awesome. She was a great stepmom and friend to my kids. My kids are amazing. So my son just finished grad school. My son Colby finished grad school. So he's now a speech and language pathologist. So I've got him back in the area now. He's going to get married next year. He's got an awesome fiance. So yeah, super.
Bro, you're living the dream, brother.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying. And then my daughter's amazing. She's down in South Carolina getting her PA. She's going to school to be a PA. So she's in grad school. Again, awesome kid, awesome human, I should say. great boyfriend. You know, we all just get along really well. My kids have made me so proud, so proud. They've made it easy for me to go out and join a charity and be so involved and stop everything I'm doing with a guaranteed income where I was, and now, you know, go out hunting for my own money. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. Well, you're not doing so bad. 55. I mean, you're not doing bad at all, my friend.
I've done okay.
You're doing okay.
I've done okay. I'm pretty humble about it, but I've done all right.
Yeah.
But the fact that, you know, they don't, you know, what do we call it? They're not on payroll anymore.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, they get, you know, obviously help along the way.
Sure,
you know,
of course,
if they need it
of
or
course,
whatever.
of course.
But the fact that they're pretty self-sufficient makes
That's
my life
amazing.
that much easier to do
That just,
other things.
you know, you want to see them independent, right? Like
100%.
we do everything we can to
Yep.
help them and support them, and realize just one day I want you to be able to take care of yourself and
Yep.
just be humble, right? Just be
Exactly.
be humble,
Exactly.
right?
And it's fortunate that, you know, between myself, my ex-wife, so their mom, I think we're the best parents in the world. And then with her husband and my wife, I think they're the best step-parents in the world. So, you know, they've had a really solid upbringing.
Yeah, and that matters, man. Because I keep telling David, bro, it's all about we raise copies, right? We raise copies. People, they watch us, they watch what we do, they watch how we react. You know, and to be at this point, you're like, wow, for that they're so balanced and to be caring enough to be receptive to what you're trying to do in your life, that just speaks volumes to the way they were raised. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So a little bit, your wife served in the Army. Was she in for a long time, or was there?
So she talk about a hardworking individual. So she went to college, did grad school, and, you know, came out with loans like everybody else. And she's from Ohio, and she was bartending, you know, while teaching or whatever, and trying to just make her way, you know.
Sure.
And two recruiters kept coming in, and she finally stopped and listened to them, and they told her they'd wipe out her loans if she served. And
The GI Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she went and checked it out, and they paid off half her loans, I think, when she enlisted, or a year in, or whatever, after basic training. I don't remember exactly, and the rest when she came out. So she didn't want the debt, and she didn't want to carry it. So rather than default or, you know, figure out consolidation loans or whatever, she went and served our country. And
amazing.
She was stationed in Connecticut, which is how she fell in love with New England. She was a veterinarian technician.
Oh wow!
So check this out.
Oh wow!
So she was so Angie, if you're listening, she knows I love telling these stories. So she was a vet tech. So on the sub base in Groton, Connecticut, all the senior officials and retired personnel would bring their dogs to her vet clinic.
Okay.
All
right.
So in itself, you know, she'd go to Newport once a month and, you know, hop on the Navy base there or whatever. So she had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And then when John Kerry ran for president, she was one of two vet techs in the state of Massachusetts that got to ride around with the Secret Service checking on all of the Secret Service dogs.
I love that.
I mean, how cool is that?
I mean, that is so cool,
She
man.
never
That
tells-
is so
Dave,
cool.
I remember telling you this story when we all first met and hung out.
Yeah.
She doesn't tell anybody that story.
That is so
You
cool.
know what I mean? Military people are so
They
humble.
they never do. The coolest stories. They don't. Like, tell me the cool stories.
Yeah.
I want to hear the cool stories.
Yeah, so, you know, she didn't serve overseas. She was in during 9/11, so that was pretty scary for her. But yeah, that's
what a cool
that's what she
experience,
did, yeah.
right? With the Secret Service, right?
And then when she got out, she was the one behind the barriers that, you know, you couldn't go back behind those barriers,
Right.
but she could, you know.
Right.
And then when she got out, she just wanted to stay in New England, and she stayed in New England, and, you know, pursued. She's now a teaching coach here in Fall River.
Okay.
She's an ESL teacher. She does. Man, for a woman that doesn't speak any language other than English, and it's Ohio English, so it's not even like New
Oh
England.
yeah.
I volunteer in her classroom sometimes, and it's amazing the work that she does with these kids. It's like, how do they even know what you're saying? She's animated, she's goofy, but yeah, she does a great job.
And for those who don't know what is
sorry.
Yeah.
ESL is English as a second language. So I'm an original ESL kid. I didn't speak English right away because my parents.
Me too. Portuguese.
Yeah, same exactly.
Yeah.
South
English is
End
my
better
second
than me.
language.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So she teaches kids that come from all over the place, whether it be, you know, Portugal, Puerto Rico, Colombia, Egypt. She's got kids from Vietnam, all over the place. And she teaches them not English, but she teaches them how to learn in English. So it's if you ever get the chance, man.
Yeah.
You know, and
this sounds very interesting. Yeah, this sounds very interesting. Yeah.
But you know, Fall River has a giant.
Well, maybe she'll come on the show.
Sure.
All right, we'll talk about it.
She may black out while she's on here.
No, that's all right. That's all right.
Cool.
It's comfortable in here.
Yeah,
we're just hanging out.
She just won't remember, is what I'm saying. She's super nervous.
I'll help her out.
But yeah, no, she loved it. She loved, you know, spreading the word about that stuff too. And she's also very involved with me in Mission 22. She's a huge supporter of me and the chapter. So when we do things, she'll go around selling.
Keep saying it. Behind every great man, right? Right.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. she'll go around at Buzzards Bay Brewing with my dog. We put the Mission 22 kerchiefs, so we take these shirts and cut them up and put them on the dogs, right? And she'll go around and sell raffle tickets. So if raffle tickets are slow, she'll go around. Last year, Lakeville Dental was super. I'm giving all my sponsors here.
That's
right?
perfect.
They,
That's what this is about, man.
They donated some Celtics tickets in the boardroom against the Golden State Warriors. Who doesn't want to watch Steph Curry, square off against Jaylen Brown and and
of course.
So not a lot of people were buying the tickets. They were just kind of enjoying the sun and listening to the band and stuff. Yeah. And she went around with my dog and she just sold a crap ton of tickets.
Nice.
So again, she's super involved. My daughter came up this past year and she took a little break from she was going to UConn at the time, and she came up and ran the race with her boyfriend. So I probably had like 15 family members and extended family members come out and run the race. Amazing. I'm going to get Dave there this year. He doesn't know it yet. It's November 9th, Dave.
I'll be there too. I'm going. I almost made it to the last one. Unfortunately, I had a prior commitment that I couldn't make it. But I've been following you guys. I follow you guys on Instagram. I'm a huge supporter of what you guys do. I saw that you had the race. The turnout was amazing. There was a lot of people that turned out. To me, I think there's no better organization out there. When I think of like Tunnels for Towers and I think of Mission 22, and I realize that you guys, this is a lot of volunteers. This is all volunteers. These are people that genuinely care. And I want to just add some substance to this because it's important to me to say this. And I know we're kind of talking lighthearted here, but I struggled. I go to see my therapist once a month. But there was a time in my life, I was always a happy guy. Like I was a happy kid, and things in life don't always turn out the way you want them to.
Correct.
And there are times in your life where you're faced with things that you become overwhelmed, right? And then I think substance helps, and then just a wrong state of mind, and then the actual separation. This is, again, I'm talking about me. Mm-hmm. The actual separation from the people that you love most, right? And I think those were that was the recipe that put me in a situation where I wasn't sure that I should, I say it now and I wear it as a patch. I shouldn't be here. I had my moment, and it took a second to realize, and I appreciate the fact that I feel that there are certain energies in this world that we can never explain. And when I was broken, when I realized that there was nothing more that I wanted, it was easy to think that, like, what's the point? You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to be here anymore. And I will tell you that probably that last second where I realized my kids would have found me this way. And I realized that that's not what I wanted for them, and then from that moment, it lit a fire inside of me. And brother, that's why we're here today. That's why this is here, because I committed to say my life is worth more than just a poor story. Like, I don't want anybody saying, Bobby worked all his life, and then that was it. That's the end of his story. So I just want to, if anybody who's listening to this, who's struggling with those type of thoughts, and I just want to say that, like, just follow me and just look at what's happened to me over the last 2 years. And I want to say that don't give up, because if you don't give up, this is what can happen to you. The fact that you're here, Rob, sitting with me, like, it's an absolute honor to talk to you, brother, and to realize the amount of good that you do, and the fact that you want to sit here and be a part of this, the fact that David wants to sit there. This is all just the reality of the decisions that I made. And so I'm proud of myself, right? I wear it like a badge, because I know that sometimes we make decisions that there's no turning back, bro. Right. And I'm grateful for that. And I don't want to consume the episode with that, but I wasn't sure if I was going to mention this today, but you're an honest guy, and I feel like I can mention this to you, and I want my audience to know that I'm also available, and if they ever have thoughts of that they want to do something like that it's important to talk to people. It's important because that's what saved me, bro. It's what saved me was that I'm here and I'm talking about it. Mm-hmm. And if I wasn't okay with that, then I wouldn't be. And so I say this often, I shouldn't be here. I shouldn't be here.
So first of all, thank you for sharing that. That's an amazing story. I can clearly see the emotion. I mean, anyone can hear it. So I love that you made the decision to, kind of like reflect on what you had going on. Like, your kids are what brought you back into the light. So, I mean, I love you for that. That's awesome. I'm glad you're still here. That way out may sometimes seem like the easy way out. The harder part is, looking for the light and then making it to the light. So I'm super happy that you did. I'm very grateful to be here sitting with you, man. You got an awesome setup here.
Thank you, brother.
Yourself with
Thank you, man.
some good people here.
Yeah, you want to go to the moon, brother? You got to hang out with astronauts, brother.
Yeah, exactly.
That's, right?
You know, it's so that's an awesome story. So what I'll it actually takes me to, and I don't have a lot of opportunity to say like how this started for me, but so, and the reason why I'm going to bring this up is because sometimes people hear that kind of stuff. I remember when I was a kid and I'd hear stories like that, and be like, oh man, that's messed up. Like, how does someone get to
How do you get there?
You know, you're watching TV or you're watching a movie and something like that happens. You're like, I would never. And then you find yourself years later. Now, I'm not going to say that I was where you were. Okay, I'm not going to say that. But going through my divorce, whenever my kids weren't with me, I had all sorts of crazy negative energy. Right? Didn't know what to do. It was like, well, I can drink myself to sleep. Or I go for a walk. So started walking. Yep. And then I'm talking like midnight here.
Yeah.
And then I'd go for, I never liked running. Two things I never liked running, never liked golf. I now golf as much as I can. Yeah. And I love running. So I would just start running. I would just run as much as I could. And then if I was 5 miles out, I'd have to get 5 miles back home. And,
right.
And be like, man, okay. So then I met my buddy Brian, who's with us as well. His name's Brian Cherslin. He's big in the running community in New Bedford. Awesome individual. Great guy. So I started running with him. And before you knew it, I was running more and more. And now we're running half marathons and 50 milers. And I attempted the 100 mile. He's got like 12 of them under his belt.
That's amazing.
I was not able to finish the 100 mile. I hurt myself. Tried twice, but got some 50s under my belt. So, a lot of things like that. And during COVID, Brian and this guy, Josh Milich, who's active Coast Guard. So shout out Josh. They wanted to do, as Josh said, something epic. And just raise awareness for something with all the running because there were no races during COVID. Stores weren't even open. So they decided that they were going to run from Bourne National Cemetery to Arling National Cemetery. They were going to do it in 11 days. 11 days, and they were going to finish on Veterans Day down in Arlington. Wow. So they did that, and they linked up with Jared Lucas and one of his coworkers, and they went down. Forgive me right now, Donnie. I can't remember your last name. I'm so sorry. I'm drawing a blank. I haven't talked to Donnie in a long time, but awesome dude, New Bedford Police Department. Yeah. And they coordinated with their cell phones and Google Maps their way to get down to run down. So I joined them for a couple of legs. Oh, wow. I didn't join them for a lot. I think one day I did like 10 miles with them. My wife did 10 or 11 miles with them. And then I went back another day, did 30 miles with them. This guy
says 10 or 11 miles like it's nothing. You know what I mean? I'm like, that's a lot. Yeah, that's a lot.
Everyone does their thing. You boys at Bernardo Boxing, they get in the ring, get punched in the face.
For sure, man.
I don't get in the ring, get punched in the face.
I know, but still, dude.
So I can run.
10 miles. I mean, you said 50 miles, almost 100 miles. That's a lot, man. That's a lot. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I got a buddy that does 120. So, jeez. Brian, in fact. Yeah. So I joined them on that, and it was all about Mission 22, by the way. Yeah. I don't think I actually said that. It was all about Mission 22. They were on national news. People stopping when we ran through Connecticut. People drove out to Danbury, Connecticut, to meet us because a soldier in their town committed suicide, and they just wanted to say thank you. Now I say us; they were mainly looking for Brian and Josh. I just happened to be there at the time. But firefighters would cross the street and stop traffic for us so they could feed us. And we'll feed them again. I was just along for the ride on that day. But we went back another day and ran with them down in Princeton, New Jersey. It was amazing. Raised so much awareness. Wow. So think about that. So I was super depressed whenever the kids weren't around, so I started running. I started running. I meet this awesome individual. Reconnect with this awesome individual. Start doing all these races. He does something epic. I go along for the ride as much as I can because it's just super cool and just the energy there that you keep talking about. So now Mission 22 is on the map. So now Jared and Donnie stand up and they start doing a lot of things. And then at some point Jared takes over and he's doing his thing. And I just kept volunteering a little bit more and a little bit more and a little bit more. And now it's like, if I'm not working with the wife, I'm all about Mission 22. Yeah. None of that would have happened if I didn't start running.
How crazy is that? It's amazing.
So it's like, it's that
what
whole,
a cool story, man.
Butterfly effect.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like you left.
Yes.
You left your dark place and look at what you're doing now, man. Yes. Like I don't know, is this streaming live like video as well? Because
we are recording.
So
we are
people
recording.
See the video here and you pan around. Like this is an awesome place. Like,
thank you, brother.
What you're doing is amazing. Whether it be a boxing organization, apparently you know Tom Brady, Bobby Orr, like you got all sorts of things. Like you're using your platform for good, and that all came from you being in a dark place.
My darkest place, brother.
So, again, telling people it is okay not to be okay.
Yep. Truth.
You know what I mean? It's okay not to be. It all comes down to
and
that.
you know, and I just want to offer this to everyone. From the darkest moments, the lights. That's where the light sparks. You know, I never knew what I was capable of until I lost everything. You know, and the truth is, I say I lost everything, but that was in my mind. The truth was I didn't. My kids never left me. My family was there. My mom, like all the people that loved me, they were all there. But in my mind, I lost everything.
Right.
You know, and then when I rediscovered it all, I seen it with new eyes, with a new light. And now all I want to do is give back. And you know, anybody who's going to be around me or a part of my life has to live in that space. Like if we're not supporting the community, if we're not bringing awareness to these great organizations like what you're doing, then we're not doing something right. You know what I mean? Because it can only go so far, man. Right? Like if people don't know, people don't know. You know?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. But I mean, I love wearing the gear. You know, the hat, the shirts, and
Dude,
everywhere
it's a killer
I go,
logo. That's a beautiful logo. I love it. I love it. Yeah, it's
awesome
fantastic.
one.
Yeah.
I go to a lot of concerts.
Yeah.
And someone always stops me.
Yeah.
Someone always stops. They thank me for my service. I don't steal valor. I right away say I'm an ambassador. I'm a spokesperson.
Sure.
Whatever you want to call me.
Yeah.
I did not serve. I was lucky enough to marry an amazing woman that did serve, and have a lot of awesome friends that did. But a lot of times people will stop me and they'll thank me, or thank you for what you do, et cetera, et cetera. And it's like, no, well, thank you, man. You served. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't thank me. I'm just doing what everyone should be doing for you all along. And sometimes those folks will actually come to our events, come to our meetings. I think of one woman now who lost her husband tragically, and she has invited us to a couple of events where we were like we were the reason that they were raising money on that day. I will simply say it's YPG. It's actually Dave knows who they are. I'm not going to name the individual, of course. It's not my place. But she invited us down, and she let us tell our story for Mission 22, raise some money for us. And I check on her every once in a while. Well, I'm not going to sit here and say that we're the best of friends, because we're really not. We're good acquaintances, I guess. But every so often.
But there's a connection.
But then she reaches out.
Right.
And she reaches out, and she gets people to our races. She gets people to our cornhole events. She helps push us on social media and stuff. So it really is a big community, and in some shape, way, or form, we've all been affected by this. So someone listening to this show right now is thinking, oh, damn, yeah, what's his face came back from Afghanistan, and he's really quiet now. That's the person you should be calling. Right. And if you don't know what to say, just ask them how they're doing.
Sure.
That's all you got to do is ask them how they're doing. If I call Dave in a couple of days, I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? He's probably going to talk for about 35 seconds. Right. Kind of like we did out there in your entrance.
Small talk.
And things come out.
Sure.
And then it's not even a matter of wrapping a cloak around the person and dragging them to my house. It's, hey, man, you should go check out these events. Talk to these people. It's all it takes.
Right.
Simple conversation. Like one of our guys is a guy by the name of Josh Bruins. He served. He was in the Marines. So sorry, once a Marine, always a Marine.
Always a Marine.
He is a Marine.
Yeah.
So Josh, hope you appreciate it. Corrected myself. And his family owns Buzzards Bay Brewing. That's where they're super generous. We have a lot of events there, and he says it all the time. This is like, he looks at all of us and says, "This is my village." That guy has lost more people from his platoon, if I'm saying that right, to suicide since their tour ended than he did in battle. Think about that.
That's incredible.
Think about that. Josh Bruins has lost more friends to suicide in the United States that he served with than he lost overseas, whether it be in battle or accidents or whatever the case is. So, again, like I said, I've said it 5 times. I'm going to say it a 6th time, and I'm probably going to say it 7 more times.
Sure.
Just check on a veteran, man. Just check on a veteran. That's all it takes.
Do you think, actually, I've had a couple of mayoral candidates on the show recently, and the hot topic is always support for the veterans, right? I think it's a cool thing to say. Everybody wants to support the veterans, but the truth is, what are you doing to support the veterans? We have a lot of buildings. I know New Bedford and Fall River are sister cities. Like we're very similar in both places, and there's a lot of vacant buildings. There's a lot of buildings that there's nothing going on. I had Boomer Amaral, who was a candidate on the show, who is a veteran, and his big comments were, "Hey, listen, like we should be taking these buildings, and we should be providing homes and adequate places for these veterans to seek medical attention if they need it." And I say to myself, well, that's all great in thought, but what's the process, right? So, the reason I even bring this up is I say to myself, is Mission 22 involved in some of the awareness and maybe in providing some type of shelter and some comfort to these veterans that are coming home? Or is that a different element?
That would be a different element.
Well, the reason I bring this up is that something that do you think Mission 22 would be interested in getting involved in? Like if there was say a project to do housing for veterans, is that something that you think Mission 22 would want to get involved in? Not to put you on the spot.
I'll give you a solid maybe.
Okay.
Maybe that'd be something that I could, as a group, we could present to the home office, if you will. Again, like I said, only 2 full-time employees.
Sure.
So while I'm not saying it's impossible,
Yeah.
I also know that Homes for Heroes exists. So I'm not going to say if they can do it, we can do it, because I have no idea what they do.
Yeah. But maybe the conversation starts, and I think if I can connect you with my connections, then maybe we can make something work. Maybe there is a process. Maybe we do bring them in. Maybe you know what I mean?
So here's the deal. It'd be something that wouldn't take much effort to get a conversation
right?
started.
Because I think it's such a big deal, bro. I think coming home and having nowhere to go is a big part of it.
I think it's a tragedy having a homeless veteran.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Now I'm talking. First of all, homelessness.
Period.
As a whole
but
is.
But a veteran.
Okay. But if you come home from deployment and you've got nothing but a knapsack,
Yes.
That's a problem.
Yes.
That's a problem. And I don't want to use this platform to talk about what's been shut down.
No. Right.
However, I will say that in my very humble opinion, if you obviously got to be careful what you say.
100%.
Right?
Always.
So how about this? I strongly believe, and I would urge any government leaders to explore the option that you just talked about. How about that?
Yep.
I think that's a fair way to say it. Whether you're Republican,
100%.
Democrat, Independent,
Right.
it doesn't matter.
Right.
If you're running on a platform that would explore something like that, and you're really going to do it, whether it be Boomer or anyone else,
Yep.
then I would commend them. I would commend them like beyond belief.
Right.
If someone actually did something like that, I can tell you we'd use our platform to publicize that. Not publicize go vote for this person.
No. But
I would publicize look what they did.
100%.
Look at what they did.
Sure.
Because we live in a copycat world.
Right.
If one person does it, like we'll use Boomer as an example.
Sure.
Again, whoever Boomer's opponent is, I'm not.
Yep.
This is not an
Yeah,
endorsement
Boomer,
by-
Chris Sylvia,
honestly,
Carlos
I don't live
Caesar.
I don't live in
Yeah,
Florida or
all of the
anything.
candidates. Let's
Yeah.
speak to all the candidates.
Yeah.
Yep.
So any candidate that can do that,
Yep.
the next candidate in the next city over is probably going to do the same thing.
Right.
New Bedford, Fall River, very much alike, sister cities.
Yes.
Going to New Bedford High, we always wanted to beat Durfee, but at the same time,
That's the rivalry, but
the reason
that's
for that is
because
'cause we're both pretty awesome.
absolutely,
right? We're both pretty
100%,
awesome.
100%.
So
yeah, 100%.
I would say, again, living in a copycat world, if someone did that and was successful with even one place, I believe that there would be a domino effect, because the positive publicity that would come from that is huge. Military numbers took a dive of in recent history as far as enlistment. They're now coming back up.
They are coming back
right?
up.
They now are coming back up.
Yes. Yeah.
And our military is definitely something to be reckoned with. Like these, part of my saying so, these are some badass individuals.
Absolutely.
Whether it be strategizing, collaborating, or actually doing the deeds that you and I didn't do.
Yep.
And if I go back in time, I would, but I didn't. You
Right.
know what I mean? So
Right.
I can't.
Life is life. Things happen in life.
So
Right.
I would commend anyone that would do something like that.
Yeah.
So I'm in charge of our Facebook page. I kind of handle the social media and the Instagram page and such. I would publicize that like crazy. I got a very public page. I would use my Milestone platform as well.
Yep.
And again, doesn't mean I'd be endorsing them. I would just be saying, look at what this person did.
Yep.
And then there's no way a candidate in Cambridge or a candidate in New Bedford or a candidate in Providence wouldn't want to do this. Why would you not want to do
We can create the model. I envision a building where there's services. You could provide services to these veterans. Downstairs is a therapist. You know what I mean? You can go downstairs, have a conversation. Like just having these services available to them. I have friends that are veterans, Vietnam veterans, older gentlemen, and even the idea of hopping on a bus and going to the VA, like it's an all-day affair. It's like, Bobby, and I get there. I'm there for 8 hours waiting, and then they come out and say like, oh, the doctor's not here today.
Yep.
Back on the bus, and and I say to my, people are like, well, that's a VA. Well, okay, well, how about if that veteran is on the edge, right? What if they're not feeling well? What if they're constantly not feeling well? And the fact that they don't feeling well is that just that little bit you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so I say, like, we have to. I'm a problem solution kind of guy.
Yep.
And that's just like I see a problem, my brain automatically wants to come up with a solution.
Well, it's awesome that you're using your platform for this. I mean, you could be talking about anything right now, and this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, but these are the men and women that are. I mean, my goodness, you know what? I don't want to say any words because there are no words.
Right.
You know what they do for us, the sacrifices, these Goldstar families. There are no words that I can say here that are going to actually attribute the gratefulness and the pride that we have for what they do for us. So what I say is, what can we do to make them comfortable? What can we do to give them some worth of life when they come back here? You know, they serve. You say, hey, listen, you go there, you don't ask questions, and you do it, and they do, and they do all that, and then when they come back here, like they don't ask any questions, they just fade away, you know. And how many, you know, these, and again, Rob, we're aware, right? We're aware of every 22 seconds. You know, I hate to even say this out loud, but what about the ones we don't know, bro? You know, what if it's every 21? I'm sorry. What if it's every 21 minutes? Not every 22 minutes. What if it's every 21 minutes? Right? Like that. Even that, we have to realize like what's the progress. And you know, I think we can bring awareness to it, and people can donate money. It's all very, very important. But there's something more. Like we have to care about these people. These are the citizens of our community. They serve it. They come back. They should have everything they need. They
should. I don't know about you, but you know, my taxes aren't exactly cheap. You know, my taxes aren't low.
Nope.
They go up all the time.
Yep.
I see people's tax bills with what I do for a living. Well, again, I don't want to get into a
no. Right.
If there are potholes on the street,
yes,
that money's got to be going somewhere. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That money's got to be going somewhere.
100%.
And I would love to see that go towards, again, a portion of that going towards some type of community centers for veteran community centers. Where again, you mentioned the VA. I love the work that they do. They're short-staffed.
Yep.
Maybe some of it goes back.
They shouldn't be short-staffed.
They shouldn't.
That's it right there. Again, we pay taxes. I mean, again, not to get political, but there are so many reasons why it shouldn't be that way. And it shouldn't be just one VA hospital. It should be many VA hospitals. And even if they're satellites, give these people the opportunity. So we have a homeless veteran, right? How are they going to get to Brockton? How are they going to... right? They don't have a cell phone. They live in a tent. So how do we provide them with services? And that's where we have to interject. That's where we have to say, no, this can't be this way.
Right.
You know, it just can't be this way. You know, you mentioned it. Homelessness is already a very, very sad situation. And now add veteran to that, and shame on us. Like that shouldn't even be a factor. But
I certainly don't have the answers for it.
Yep.
Which is why I say if someone can get on that platform or run on that platform or have it a part of their platform, and make a difference.
Yep.
I firmly believe that other people would follow.
And you know, and what I'm saying, that's one small part of it, right? The other part of it is the mental health, and you know, two things. I'm a man, and I'm Portuguese, so I was brought up not to be weak, right? That I didn't need to talk to somebody. I didn't need to see a therapist, right? It was weak to do that. And unfortunately, I waited way too long to do it. And then finally, when I did it, I'm like, wow, why did I wait so long to do this? And so I think, you know, when you're dealing with mental health, you know, these troops are out here or out in these foreign places, and God knows what they are asked to do out there. We have no idea, not even an iota. So they come back here, and who are they talking to, right? If they're lucky enough to run into Rob at Shaw's, you're going to stop and you're going to have a full-blown out conversation with them.
100%.
But if they're not that fortunate, who are they talking to, right? Who are they going to reach out to when they need this? You know, they could do the Mission 22, but what if they don't know? Like, who is it? And so I think the mental health portion is a big piece of that as well. I don't even know. I bring it up. I don't even have an answer. Like, how do we even identify that? How do you even tap into that portion of it, right?
Yeah, so there's been a couple of times where people have asked how they can get help, and it's on the Mission 22 website.
Okay.
It's right there.
You're good, man. I was actually I was leading you right to that. Yeah.
When you go to the Mission 22 website, of course, they talk about donations. They try to sell merchandise because, again, that's how they raise money to keep the organization going.
Yeah.
They're big on the workouts, so they have a lot of, you know, the whole 22 push-ups, 22 pull-ups, etc. And then on that page as well is how to get help. So there are phone numbers on there, how to get help. So I myself have directed people to that number, and I know they're still walking around because I see them. Yeah. So again, I'm not the person that saved their lives. I'm not a therapist. I consider it my job to raise awareness and raise funds. Raise awareness, raise funds, raise awareness, raise funds. That's our part. And then when people ask about that, we don't hesitate. Hey, here you go. Here's a brochure, or simply go online, call if you don't have a computer to your point or whatever.
Yep.
I'll give you the phone number. Give them a call. Start rolling. Like you mentioned, Goldstar families.
Yep.
I do know that some Goldstar families have called because now their loved ones are gone, and even though they're not
that's a good point.
Veteran,
that's a good point. I like that.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
My sister-in-law is a little bit of a tangent here, but my sister-in-law is a Goldstar family, and her son died tragically in a training accident, and you know the reason why I bring this up is because this is the military for you. You ready? So her son Joshua again, passed away, my wife's nephew. And, the people in his platoon that weren't part of that accident, they all check on her. So whether they're active or not, well, Marine, so once Marine, always Marine, we talked about, they check on her all the time. They're from various parts of the country. So if they can do it, why can't we?
Right. These are our neighbors. These are our friends and family. Right,
you know what I mean?
right.
This is someone, they never knew her.
Yeah.
They didn't know her till they went to the funeral.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They had no idea who she was. But again, all circles back to that camaraderie, that brotherhood, that sisterhood. And they check on her, and I can tell you firsthand, she is super grateful for it. Super, super grateful for it. So again, I don't know. You mentioned Goldstar, and it is kind of so, you know, Jen, if you're listening.
That's a great point. I mean, most of us are thinking that this is specifically for, but the families as well can utilize the services. And
you know, at the very least, if they come to one of our events and they hang out, it's just good energy, man. It's fun. It's fun. You know, Fun 107. You know, Gazelle will sometimes come on his own. On his own, that dude is awesome.
That's awesome.
On his own, and he works the mic. No one works the mic like Chris, right?
Yeah, right.
Nobody works the mic like Chris. I'm like, hey, Chris, man, no one's at the raffle table, and he'll go over and start reading, and he's talking.
Yeah, he's legit. He's legit.
Like, hey,
he's legit. Yeah.
You know, Bobby Kudo just bid $500 on this sound. Who's gonna beat Bobby Kudo? And he just gets the energy going. People just like being at the events. Yep. They just love being at the events. You know, we do. If I can, real quick.
100%, bro. 100%.
So in the winter, we do, it's called the ErgFit event. So you can row, ski, or bike at ErgFit in New Bedford. Brad Cardozo opens his gym up to us. I mean, this dude is as salt of the earth, man, as solid as they come. Opens the gym to us, but closes it to the public. So he sacrifices money so we can go have events there. Gillian Sampson, she's now our chapter lead, and she coordinates the entire thing. We raise a ton of money that way. That's in the winter. And then in the springtime, well, late spring, early summer, right around Father's Day, so I guess summertime, we'll do our golf tournament. And every year we sell it out, Acushnet River Valley. We do. It's a lot of fun. We get away from the raffles there because we just wanted to focus on getting people there, spreading the message.
It's a long day. That's a long day.
It's a long day. It's a long day. Sun, and we do other things throughout the course. I'd rather not talk about what we do on the course because I don't know. But we do other things to raise.
You got to be there. Yes. You got to be there.
But we raise a ton of money. And we raise a lot of awareness. And again, there's always someone that comes and says, "I'm so glad I'm here." My son, my daughter, etc. And then we've got our cornhole tournament coming up that we already talked about. Again, please go to the website. We still need a lot of
and just again, the date on the cornhole and the location?
September 21st, Buzzards Bay Brewing. Okay. Our rain date, it's on the website. I want to say our rain date is October 6th. Yeah. If it rains on October 6th, we'll just do it. We'll toss the bags on the inside, on the inside of the brewery. But that's always a really, really good time. We have food trucks there. Sometimes there are bands there. It all depends on how how the chips fall that day. So that's always a ton of fun. And then when it's over, the brewery's open. It's sunny. It's a beautiful location. Hang out, whatever. Dog friendly. Bring the dogs. You know, kid friendly. Don't let them jump on the wall though, because the walls are pretty well sculpted. So you know, no kids getting hurt, of course. Yeah. And then in November, again, we're going to do our second 5K this year. So you know,
that's great. It's cool, right? The weather, it's cool, right? Right.
And it's $40.
Yeah.
It's $40. So we had 240 some odd people last year. It was amazing. Wow. So, you know, and then shout out to our sponsors that help us out, right? Yeah. So Megan Hatch at Sherman Law, she was one of our platinum sponsors. By the way, anytime I mention a sponsor, please reach out to me if you're interested in promoting your business. 100%. So Megan Hatch was awesome. She was our platinum sponsor. We got Mass Real Estate Law. They were a sponsor for us. LaPointe Insurance, I've already mentioned him. I do a lot of the sponsoring myself. Yeah. You know, Vern, Craig, and Rachel at Milestone, they chipped in, and you know, a couple of them actually ran my 5K, which was fun. Yeah. We've got others. Man, Nick's gonna kill me. Sorry, Nick.
No, that's all right. It's okay.
ARG. I can look on Facebook.
Sure.
His brother was a huge sponsor for us during a golf tournament. His construction company, they paid for our shirts. They put in a few teams. Wow. We actually had, Bobby, this year, check this out, for the golf tournament. Yeah. We had people that just wanted to give us $1,000, but we already had the platinum sponsor. Yeah. So it was like, well, I don't want to have two platinum sponsors. That's going to diminish. Someone paid $1,000 for the spotlight. Right. So they were like, we don't care.
Yeah, we don't care. I was just about to say, we don't care about the spotlight. So
they sponsored teams. So Junior Almeida was someone who lost his life in New Bedford. And his family, in his memory, gave us $600, and we sponsored a veteran team. So we had 4 teams of veterans
Oh wow,
that were sponsored
that's awesome,
by other
dude. I went in on that. We won in on that. We won in. Absolutely,
So,
we won
yeah.
in on that.
So,
I'm excited. I'm actually
yeah,
excited,
this
bro.
is-
I went in.
And to any other sponsor, please
Yeah.
forgive me out there if I'm missing you. Because again, there's a lot.
Yeah, of course, of
there's a
course,
lot.
of course, of course.
There's a lot. We had, Nye Lubricants is another one. I think about people like Karen Ferreira at Tropical Smoothie down in the New Bedford, Fairhaven area. Every time I call her,
Yeah.
Rob, what do you need?
Yeah.
It's a, you know what I mean? Because people they appreciate the cause. I mean, yeah, they're all friends of ours, of course, and they all love us and stuff. But they appreciate the cause.
Absolutely.
They appreciate
Bro,
the cause.
90 cents.
90 cents for
90
every
cents.
dollar
You're
donated.
you're not going to spend your money any better than that way. That's just the hands down. Like, a lot of these organizations pretend, and then that money goes, who knows where it goes. But I mean, it doesn't get any leaner than that, bro.
Yeah,
It really doesn't.
it
So
doesn't.
if you really want your money to go to a great place and see the impact that it has, and like I said, I'm on the social media. I see all the amazing things that you guys do and the awareness that you bring. It's very sad that the people that need this the most, aren't with us. You know what I mean? And although they're not with us, I think the honor of keeping their memory alive and realizing that we can help others, right?
So I'm glad you said that, because I never know how to work this part in. So for our events, golf in particular, you can donate $150 and we make a yard sign in memory of their name goes
That's
there.
amazing.
So like, for instance, with Jeff,
Yep.
we have in memory of Camden Mello. And so when you get to that hole,
Yep.
sure, you see the sponsor. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. Like maybe we see Pinnacle Painting, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, right? Dave?
Yep. Yep.
You know a guy, right? But how about getting up to that tee box and seeing in memory of Camden Mello? That reminds you why you're there.
Yeah.
That reminds you why you're there.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't remind you why you're there, we may have missed the mark, and we just have to reinforce the message.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just got to
Yeah.
reinforce that message.
Yeah.
We all do this on our free time, man. It's I think about, I've already mentioned Josh, Jared, Gillian, Nick. I mentioned we got Kim Levitt, Army veteran, another Army veteran from Ohio. Like with my wife, it seems like Ohio produces all these. Army veterans.
Right.
We got Mackenzie Dauphin, who's now a New Bedford firefighter. She volunteers with us. I mean, man, I could go on and on for.
Sure.
I'm trying really hard to give all the love. To
Yeah,
all the
no,
people
I
that
hear
give us
you.
the
I
love.
hear you. Yeah,
So
yeah,
for anyone
yeah,
that
yeah.
I miss, I really am
It's
sorry.
so important. It's so
Anybody
important.
that I miss,
Absolutely.
I'm very, very sorry.
Yeah.
But it's an awesome cause. I love being here talking about it. Again, it's easy. Our events are inexpensive, man. They're inexpensive, and they're always a good time. No one has ever left our event that I have seen going, shit, I wish I had that money back.
Right.
Oh, damn, that
Right.
was awful.
Right.
Everyone comes, they have a good time.
Yeah.
We're kicking people out at the
Yeah,
end.
that's
we're,
great.
We're booting people.
That's
Like,
great.
You got to go.
That's
You
great.
gotta go, man.
That's great.
We had this guy, Nate Ferreira. He was on his motorcycle last year with the Mission 22 flag going back and forth on the roads, making sure our runners were safe in that quarter-mile stretch. And it's like, we didn't ask him to do that, man. The guy just wanted to do it.
Right.
By the
Right.
way, he's won our cornhole tournament as well. So, Dave, you got
Oh, it's on. It's on.
But,
It's calling you out.
yeah, but I would love to. I would love to just sit here and rattle everybody off. I can't because I can't remember them all.
Sure.
But if they're all coming out, South Coast Towing was the first to sponsor T-shirts for us. So now when you walk around, if you see a navy blue Mission 22 shirt on the South Coast, on the back is probably South Coast Towing.
Wow,
So,
we got to do a Bobby Kudo show version of that. But can we do one? We're going to do one. I want to do one.
so you're picking it up. So that's what you call subtle selling. So
Yeah.
I basically gave you the bug to
Yeah.
want to give us
I want
money.
to do that. I want to do it. Hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker. Hook, line, and sinker.
But that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
That's
man.
what it's all about.
Yeah,
And if
yeah.
people, so it's twofold, right? People walk around, they see the Bobby Kudo show, and it's
Yep.
like, well, that's a good dude because he just sponsored Mission 22.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I believe the Mission 22 statement is getting out there more. I believe our awareness is getting out there more. When you take someone like myself, I grew up in New Bedford, man. I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people.
You don't look 50, bro.
So, thank you. So if anyone who knows me knows I'm a devoted dad, I'm a devoted husband, and now they know that I'm a loan officer that donates my own money to Mission 22.
Yeah.
Now, great. So I use my platform to my social my selling platform, if you will, my loan officer platform
Sure. Yeah.
to highlight the cause. So every month it's my on my feed it's how many families I help. There's the Mission 22 logo
It's amazing.
and my milestone logo, and I just want people to know that they can jump in and they can help out. So if anyone out there wants to,
Are you
help
guys
out in
looking
any
for
way-
like volunteers for the organization? Is it something? Because I mean, obviously, growth is important, right? And you mentioned you guys are very short-handed. So real quick, what does it take to be a volunteer to support you guys to actually get hands-on?
All right, so that's a beautiful question. I'm so glad you asked it. Reach out to us. Reach out. So I cover the social media page. So send me a message on the social media page.
Yep. And we'll share that. We're gonna share.
yeah.
We're gonna share it all everywhere. It'll be on the Bobby Kudo Show
Friend
everywhere.
of yours, just have them call me, have
Yep.
them text me,
Yep.
have them drop a comment online, whatever the case is. Because if you think about our 5K in particular, I think there were like 20 turns going out and back. We need someone at every turn. No one wants to stand there alone for 40 minutes.
Right.
So we need 2 people at every turn.
Yep.
So the more hands-on deck we get, because another event we do is the New Bedford Food Truck Festival down on Fort Rodman, right?
Okay,
At Fort
yeah,
Taber.
yeah.
So we'll do that. And, I've been able to go the last couple of years, but last year in particular, I had to go work an open house first. So there had to be other people there.
Sure.
And we're not getting paid for this stuff.
Right.
We do it because we want to.
Right.
So the more volunteers we have, the better our events are run. And, my buddy Ryan Powers, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Powers, he's a school teacher in New Bedford. He's a runner. I mean, just a fantastic individual, right? His students love him. Just his family loves him. Just a great guy. He comes to all our events, and he just looks and says, "What do you need me to do?"
I love it.
And he's a type A personality.
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
a
yeah.
very strong individual, and I
Yeah,
mean
yeah.
that in a very
Yeah.
complimentary
Right.
way.
Absolutely. Right.
And he shows up and he's like, "What do you need me to do?"
Yeah.
And sometimes we have him coordinating other volunteers. This dude got on his bike, his road bike,
Yeah.
and rode behind the slowest people during the ruck and hike, and made sure they made it all the way around and that there were no one lagging behind.
awesome.
So we call it a sweeper.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
he
yeah.
swept for us.
Yeah.
But guys like him show up and they do things. So we need more Ryan Powers.
Gotcha.
We need more people like that that'll show up to our events and just look and say, maybe not. They should show up beforehand because we always do meetings beforehand.
Yeah. Right.
A lot of our meetings are at Poor Farm, so thanks to Brad and Jen for letting us. Jen Cardozo owns Poor Farm in New Bedford. I'm mentioning all these New Bedford places here.
Don't. That's okay. Look, we're all in this together. We're sister city.
yeah.
I'm in New Bedford all the time. I literally.
So
My whole Kudo construction.
Yeah.
That's my whole family. Though
Yeah.
that's most of my family is in New Bedford. So.
okay,
Yeah.
beautiful, great
Yeah.
company. By
Thank
the way.
you. Thank you.
They want to sponsor anything?
Yeah. Well.
But yeah, so they come to the meetings. And
This guy's
we,
good.
We
This guy's
lay
good.
out-
You're good. You're good. They're in
Yeah.
good hands, Rob. They're in good hands, buddy.
That's why they're always putting the mic in my hand.
Yeah, right.
But I just like to talk.
Yeah, me
I
too.
love the sound of my own voice,
Yeah.
I guess. But with the volunteers, they come to the meetings and we know who's going to volunteer. So we got a guy, Mike Bates, a retired state trooper, just unbelievable guy.
Yeah.
He'll help coordinate the volunteers with Josh and where everyone's going to be. And we're pretty well oiled now. When people show up, it's not 17 people behind the merch table, but yet no one walking around checking on people.
Right.
We now know where people are going to be.
You're
where they're gonna
organized.
go.
You're organized.
I think as Sandy Silverini, when she shows up to our golf event, she knows exactly what she's doing every year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not the tugging at your shirt saying, "What do you need me to do? What do you need me to do?" Which is great, by the way.
Yeah. No. Right.
Sometimes you just don't know what to tell people
Right.
what to do.
Right.
But then when you find yourself shorthanded, you want those people tugging at your shirt.
Right.
So
Right.
yes, I would encourage any and all volunteers. If your kid's in high school and they need community service hours or whatever that's
That's
called,
a great idea.
I'll
Perfect.
sign off on it. I'll sign
Perfect.
off on it. I'll stamp it saying they gave
Yeah.
us 20 hours. If you just want to give back to the community, you don't know how, call me. I've
Yep.
got a job for you. You know what I
Awesome.
mean? Call me. I've got a job for you.
Awesome. So there's something for everybody, right?
Yeah.
It's money. Obviously, if someone wants to donate financially,
Mm-hmm.
they can go to the website. They can support Mission 22 that way.
Yeah.
Or if they want to show up and actually physically help out for these events, reach out to you and coordinate that. Rob, where do you see yourself in 5 years, brother? Where do you see all this?
All this.
Yeah.
So
I mean, between you, look, obviously, because you're doing the mortgage thing,
Yeah.
like you've got this all working together. I mean, it keeps growing. You keep getting more and more sponsors. Like, and I say to myself, wow, if he's doing this now and you've got all this momentum, imagine how much more momentum you'll have in 5 years from
Yeah.
now, right?
yeah,
What does it look like?
with
to you?
all of us?
Yes,
With all of us. I can't
100%.
say definitely.
No,
it's
of
our
course,
village,
100%.
it's our village.
Yes.
But so I see two things.
Okay.
I would like to see two things. Number one, I don't want to go a day without seeing a Mission 22 shirt out on the streets. If I can go every single day and see one person wearing a Mission 22 shirt, then our message
Or a
is
hat.
getting
The hat's
out.
really
Oh,
nice.
the
That's
hat
it's
is-
sharp.
it's a
I
pretty
like
bomb
that.
hat,
That's
right?
really nice. I love
Yep.
that.
That's right. We sell them for $25 at the table, so I'll put
Excellent.
one aside for you.
Focus them.
But so if I see a Mission 22 shirt every single day of my life around the South Coast, the message is getting out there. The other thing I want to see, as we've gotten bigger and have done more events and have publicized more events, we have had people come to us saying that we made a difference. Right?
It's huge.
Now, it sounds a little selfish because I'm saying me, us, we. But think about that. If we have 4 to 5 events a year, if at every event one person tells us we helped make a difference, whether it be through social media, our events, or someone wearing one of our shirts and they're like, what the hell is that? And,
Bro, you're saving
and
lives.
then they tell them, and we're saving lives.
Bro.
Every event. So every event, I want 2 people to tell us that we made a difference. And every day, I want to see Mission 22.
You are a goal-oriented guy, and I love it, dude. I see it. It's set the goals, meet the goals, set the goals, and exceed, right?
Yeah.
How can we make this even better?
Yeah.
Brother, can I tell you it's an absolute honor and pleasure to have this minute with you. And,
honor and pleasure
you know,
to be
I
here.
would love to have you come back when we have more time. Maybe we could talk about the journey. You know, I'd love to talk about how you got here, brother. You know, there's a whole lot, dude, there's 50 years of you that's here, you know, and I imagine.
It ain't all good.
Yeah, well, you know what? And those are things that make you who you are, man. And that's, you know, the show's all about the journey, brother, you know. And, you know, for me and like many others that have been here before you, it's always the same thing. You know, it's getting to a point in your life where the struggle gets to a point where you're like, I got to make a change. Like, I got to make a difference. Like, something's just not right here. And fortunately for a lot of us, we get there, but unfortunately for many, they don't. And so, you know, they always tell you, don't look in the rearview mirror, but you have to. You have to realize, you know, the things that you missed. You know what I mean? And the things, sometimes they're not all wins, bro. So
No.
you take the wins when you can, and then you join yourself with people who are like-minded and driven by the true meaning of what it means to experience the human experience, right? This journey that we all share together.
100%.
Yeah, Rob, you are a winner, brother, and I hope I can call you friend.
Absolutely.
And I want you to know you're a friend of the show, and we, David, will coordinate with you, and we want to be an arm for Mission 22.
I would absolutely.
You
love
know,
that. I'm honored that you would even consider us.
100%, bro.
So again, thank you so much for Dave. Thank you for the invite.
Yep.
100%. If we can use your platform,
100%.
To get the word out there,
Yes.
I'd be
yes.
more.
Let's
than
do
happy.
more of these. If you maybe we can get some veterans. Maybe we can sit down. I have a 4-seater over there, bro. If you want to, maybe we get together and we do something a little.
So
right?
My boss was nice enough to loan us our podcast studio, and I had the people from our like my people, right? My village, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And they sat there and talked about their fights.
Yep.
So if and they're willing to do more of that.
Yeah.
So yes, I will tell you right now.
Bro, Mikasa, Sukasa.
I love you, man.
Coordinate it with David whenever you want. We'll bring him in. We'll sit down. We'll talk about it. I think the key message here for you is awareness, right?
100%.
People have to know.
Yep.
And so whatever we can do to blast this out as much as possible, we will do that, bro. There is no more honorable mission out there than the one that you serve, bro.
Yep.
I thank you, brother. Rob, I appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much again, man. Really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Really
so
enjoyed it.
real quick before we go out, if anybody wants to get a hold of you one more time, how do they do it?
So just give me a call, shoot me a text, 508-264-1536. Find me on Facebook. It's just Rob Serpa. It's a picture of me and my wife. We're all dressed up. We're all
Hey, you
dolled
look
up.
good. I saw that. You look dapper.
Well,
Yeah.
she helps me look good for sure.
Yeah.
Picks out my clothes, and then she's so damn pretty.
Yeah.
And then on Instagram right now, it's just R Serpa.
Okay,
It's really
R
easy,
Serpa.
SERPA.
Yeah.
Very, very
And then
easy.
what's the website?
It's just mission22.com.
Mission22.com.
And on Facebook, it's
Because sometimes people say the Mission 22, or there's always like a abbreviation.
mission22.com.
Yeah.
And on Facebook, to get in touch with us directly, it's Mission 22 New Bedford chapter.
Okay. Yep.
Same on Instagram.
So I just started following you guys. So
Beautiful.
if the
Please
audience
share
is
it.
listening and they want to find you easy, they just come right through me. I'm following you guys, and we'll be putting out anything you got. So whatever you got, brother, send it our way, and we will blast it loud and clear. My audience is your audience, sir.
Much love, man.
Thank you
Much
so
love.
much for
Thank
being
you
here,
so
brother. I
much.
really appreciate it. Thank you, audience, for being here. Really appreciate it. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe to the show. We're all over the place. You don't have to look very far to find us. And now we're getting into the video element. Dave's making me do it. I always say it's a podcast first, but he's like, dude, you got to do the video. People want video. So that's what we're doing. We're providing what you want. I just want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to you, Rob, and everybody that's involved in your organization, all the fans of the show. We appreciate you, and thank you so much for being here. And always remember that all roads lead here.